When it came to the president's Iran nuclear deal, there was one senator everybody was watching to see how he would vote. New York Senator Charles Schumer, Democrat, and he has just come out last night to publicly oppose the Iran nuclear deal straying from President Obama. Schumer saying, "I'll vote to disapprove the agreement because I believe Iran won't change. And under this agreement, it will be able to achieve its dual goals of eliminating sanctions while ultimately retaining its nuclear and non-nuclear power." Folks, this is huge to have a prominent Democrat oppose the deal. So what happens next? We bring in former Goldman Sachs International Vice Chair Bob Hormats and former Undersecretary of State. It's great to have you here. Was that a poison arrow? Did Schumer just...
That was very harmful to the president on two counts. One, it will encourage other Democrats to vote for the resolution of disapproval, and hiding in effect behind Schumer, or at least saying if Schumer did it, it makes it easier for us. And second, Republicans who were chastised by the president only a day ago for saying that they oppose the agreement. He was saying, in effect, if you do that, you're paving the way to war. Schumer's opposing it, and people would hardly say that he was a guy who wanted war.
We had a former Israeli ambassador to the UN, Dan Gillerman, on just 2 days ago. Do we have the soundbite? I want you to hear what he said. He anticipated that this would happen. Listen.
Chuck himself said to me many times, and I know he says this publicly, that he is Shomer Israel. Shomer in Hebrew means the guardian of Israel. I'm sure he has the fate of Israel and the security of Israel at heart.
And he did it. And he has a huge Jewish constituency here in New York. Look, Neil Cavuto floated the idea with Mort Zuckerman, the billionaire, publisher, and real estate magnate earlier. And I want you to hear what he said, because Neil said maybe he just wanted to keep his constituents. And is it possible then he knows that President Obama will be able to veto it? Here's what Mort Zuckerman said.
I don't think that the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee comes out against, who's a Democrat, comes out against the Democratic president lightly. And he's not that way.
There you go. What do you think?
I think Schumer thought it over. Schumer's a very thoughtful guy. I've known him a long time. He does not make quick decisions on the spur of the moment. He's a thoughtful guy. And if he came to this conclusion, clearly has a strong Jewish constituency in New York, but he also is a person who does care about the national interest.
You know, there are 10 Jewish senators in the Senate. Among them, of course, Chuck Schumer, Barbara Boxer, Ben Cardin, Dianne Feinstein. Not all of them are going to vote against this deal.
No, they won't. And I think it's individuals deciding on the basis of what they consider the pros and cons to be. And I don't think it has to do with religion per se. I think it has to do with their view of not just Israel's interest, but the American national interest. And they will vote their conscience, by and large, on an important issue like this.
Bob Hormats says it's damaging, but not a poison death arrow, correct?
It is not, but the president can still get a vote in the Senate or the House. He needs 34 in the Senate, and he needs a third in the House to, in effect, sustain his veto of the resolution of disapproval. The question then that has to be asked is, what do the other countries who've already signed on to this deal do?
Right.
Do they hold the sanctions or do they not? And what does Iran do? Does Iran say, well, the Americans are not complying with this deal, we are not going to comply either? Or they could comply and have the sanctions removed for the others, and the others unfreeze a certain amount of their assets as well. So it raises a lot of complicated follow-up issues.
Not done yet, though. Great to have you in a Fox Business exclusive.
Thank you.
Bob Hormats, former Undersecretary of State and Kissinger Associates Vice Chair. Closing